So I was on a podcast 2 days ago, and the person specifically asked me in this huge podcast, a big international podcast, about the integrated life and how I talk about the integrated life and how I have an integrated life between my life, my children, and how I see myself publicly versus privately. And I just live an open, integrated life, and I don't want to hide any longer. I did that for quite a while growing up and trying to be politically correct and things like that. And I want to tell you why I do that. So you might notice that I share real life stories a lot, and I'm trying to do it more and more and find my voice in it more and more. But I'll share real life stories of things that happened. What I've learned, okay, is artists and creators, this is what they do when they blow up, when they really, really find their voice, is their stuff gets so real, right? It's talking about something real. Think about musicians or people that you love or rappers or whoever it is. People always go, oh, that person is so real. Well, what it is they're talking about real things, okay? As a content creator, it is the same thing. The more that you can talk about, because really we're storytellers at the end of the day, whether you're a news person or whatever, you're a storyteller. And the more that you can talk about real things, the connection happens much, much quicker when you can talk about real things, real stories, and share real things, because people go, you know what? I didn't necessarily go through that exact thing, but I went through something like it, and I felt the same way you did. They synergize with that, and that is how you build an audience. And so that is why I share a lot of things about my life, and I want to do it more, and I'm going to do it more. Another really big thing. So I was just watching this movie Elvis, okay, and I recommend that movie to anybody. It was an awesome movie, but I noticed even in the movie when he really, really, really took off. He was at a stadium, like a baseball stadium, and all of his managers and everybody was telling him to play the politically correct card. He said no. He went up on stage and he literally did his deal. He talked about things. He sung songs that were from the heart. He did his own thing. And he talked. His songs were about real. A lot of his songs, not all of them, but a lot of them that got really, really big later on. It shows in the movie, like when MLK died and when Kennedy died and things like that. Like, he was talking about real life things that were happening, real life issues. He would talk about loneliness and things like that he had, and desire to be loved and these kind of things. And you notice that is something that plays throughout all great musicians and all great artists, whether they're painters or whatever. Is the more real and honest that they can get, the more people are attached to them, and the more they have followers. And by the way, the biggest reason is there was this one guy that's controversial, I guess, but not to me, and his name was Jesus. And that is pretty much all he did, was tell stories, talk about real life issues, and that is why he changed the world.